And the Yankees want the bat. Look at Martin.
Well, what they're talking about, Frank, is that he's got too much pine tar, and you've got to have a certain amount of distance from the trademark of the bat and the pine tar. See what's going to happen. They're going to...
Now that is the plate umpire, Tim McClellan, with the bat in his hand. Now they're going to measure it across home plate.
Well, I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, the Yankees win it. He's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And
he's steaming mad.
He is out and having to be forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan. And the
3-2. Bouncing ball up the middle. A run's going to score. Anderson to throw to first. They're tied. Break home runs alike. Gonzalez to third gives Sosa his 25th RBI on a broken back. The Cubs lead by 1 here in the first inning.
Well, this isn't
They're
good.
looking for a few more pieces of the lumber.
No, they're looking to see what's in the bat. And they want to see if what's in the bat is really the bat or if there's anything in there that shouldn't be in there. Chip, the only time I've seen something in there is if the bat is corked. Now, as far as we know, they have just the handle of the bat. They don't have the barrel of the bat. And Grzelcyk is going back to third. And Gonzalez is going back to second. And I believe there's going to be 2 outs.
Occasions. Now, those two things often come before the final decision. Yeah, it was broken, and now it's broken for good. Miller has it. 1 away. That was sawed off if there ever was one.
Instant kindling right here for Chris Sabo. I swear I think it broke on the pitch before that. They didn't want to go get another piece of wood.
You got a pizza paddle now.
That looks exactly like a pizza paddle. Now you're making me hungry. Uh-oh.
Didn't take a lot to do that.
They're going to take a look at this bat now. They see something on the inside of this. How about that? That's a stream of cork running right up and down to Chris Sabo's bat. They're going to go in and they're going to eject him from the ball game.
Or that could, well, let's see. Ooh.
Oh, that's bored out in court.
No doubt about that. There's a board in the middle of that.
How about that?
Davy Johnson asking to look at the ball or the glove, maybe, of Jay Howell.
And they want the crew chief, Harry Wendelstedt, to come in as well. Joe West is the plate umpire. Now Lasorda wants to know what's going on. And so here's Wendelstedt, the crew chief, and he and West will examine Howell's glove, with Lasorda getting a first-hand look as well.
Well, the other night we were talking about when Alejandro Pena came in and it did look like to be some foreign substance on the back of his glove. Maybe they're a little bit confused. Or maybe he picked up Pena's glove from the bullpen. I doubt if that happened, though.
Now they're looking at the inside of the glove.
You notice Dempsey had his hand in there, and Joe West kind of slapped it out of the way.
And this comes with a count 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's like a Norman Rockwell painting.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, as an umpire, you have to, number one, make a decision.
They threw him out of the ballgame.
Yeah, look at this. Can you believe this? But obviously, they've got the evidence, because that's only a very mild protest from Tommy Lasorda.
Gruber got his 9th. Jeff Musselman was the winner. He's 10-4 coming out of the bullpen for Toronto. Floyd Bannister was the loser, 6-9. Negro drops it in for a strike, 2-1. New York got beat. Cleveland 2, New York nothing. Tom Candiotti threw a 1-hitter for his second shutout of the season. Candiotti's no-hit bid was spoiled by Mike Easler's leadoff bloop single to center field in the 8th inning. For the game, Candiotti struck out 5 and walked 1. They are inspecting Phil Niekro. They're saying he's either loading up the baseball or something, and Tom Kelly's really getting into it with Dave Phillips and with Tim Cheetah. Dave Phillips took a baseball of Gaylord Perry's to New York one time.
Yeah, checking him all over. I've never seen him do a search like this, quite like this before.
And
he's out of there.
He's been kicked out of the game.
Well, left-handed bats in his Atlanta Braves lineup.
Not sure what this is all about. Freddie Gonzalez to the home plate umpire, Chris Siegel, and now he's going to bring in the crew chief, Jim Joyce. This is a curious development here.
The home plate umpire is asking Jim Joyce something.
And Jim Joyce is directing his attention to Will Smith. Checking his glove, and he's been thrown out. Will Smith has been ejected. A foreign substance on the glove. Wow.
So calling out a substance on Brian Mattis's arm. Like we saw Will Smith thrown out for a couple of days ago in Milwaukee. Like we saw Michael Pineda suspended for last year in New York. Buck Showalter comes to see.
Well, it's interesting because I saw Dan Jennings go talk to the hitting coach for the Marlins, Frankie Menachino. They had obviously seen something out on the mound. I think the discussion was more or less, should we say something? Is that some sort of substance? And obviously, with the quick 2 outs, Dan Jennings took it upon himself to bring it to the attention of the umpire.
It's going to be an awkward conversation. He's been thrown out of the game. Brian Mattis becomes the second big league pitcher this week to get thrown out of a game for a foreign substance on his arm. Mattis thrown out in a scoreless game in the 12th.